तांबडी चामडी ही चमकते उन्हात.
So I sidechain this. That's why it sound. If I keep the sidechain off, I keep it on, it goes down and up because it's referencing the kick. Whenever the kick comes in, it sidechains and comes back again. I believe that house and hip hop and rap can merge really well. The references for these tracks were like old Dutch rap and house tracks, which are not popular songs, but I love them. We never thought this would be a hit ever. Like we thought that okay, this would be a banger for our shows, like Shreyas' shows and my show. But to be very honest, I never thought that ये हर एक गणेश विसर्जन में और बज रहा है, हर एक दहिंडी में बज रहा है. So this track was never meant for Shreyas or meant for making a Marathi house, nothing. Hello, माझं नाव क्रेटेक्स आणि तुम्ही बघताय Mashable Todd-Fodd. So I was in talks with a South Indian actor who's also a singer. I cannot take his name because he's a big star. He got a movie and he got busy into that. उसके लिए भी I made this beat कि चलो let's make something, and he was very keen to make Marathi. Yeah, because he had heard my Marathi remixes. So he was like, I'll do something. मैं इसमें कुछ तो मराठी का कुछ hook line डाल दूँगा. And meanwhile it was taking time. मैंने ये श्रेयस को भेज दिया because I knew Shreyas and we had made a track before which is not out. We had made already and we had a good vibe of making tracks. And I told him ki bhai, take this, you make whatever you want on this, add your Marathi point of view, and then we'll make a collab of 3 of us. That was the plan. I didn't knew ki this will be what it is right now today. तो मैंने उसको भेजा and he sent me a full track कि भाई you take it and तुझे जो बनाना है, जो लेना है इसमें से ले, जो निकालना निकाल दे, and we'll add, you do it according to you. और वो जो मैंने सुना दैट वॉज कम्प्लीटली लाइक आउट ऑफ, ऐसा था कि वो मैन ये क्या बना दिया अभी इसने. तो आई वाज लाइक कि ब्रो वो तीसरे को भूल जाते हैं और वील जस्ट फिनिश द ट्रैक एंड वी जस्ट गेट विद दिस. दैट्स हाउ इट वाज मेड. इवन द बीट व्हेन आई वाज मेकिंग इट, आई हैड अ कॉल विद दिस गाय कि अरे आई वांट टू डू समथिंग मराठी एंड ही वाज लाइक व्हाट टिल व्हेन कैन यू सेंड मी द बीट. एंड आई एम लाइक anyone whom I meet, I just send him a beat within an hour. I just make sure that I'm sending quickly. So I made a very simple beat and that was the whole result. I was listening to a sample which I had, which was this. It's a very big sample. So, and this is in Raag Bhairavi, and Raag Bhairavi generally sounds really nice. So I was going through the samples and by mistakenly when I pulled it and I was going to remove it, but I didn't remove the full thing. Just one thing which left, which was this start of it. And I was like, bro, and the beat just continued. And whenever I start a track, I start with the kick and bass every time because I'm making house music. I think so kick and bass, जो house music में, that is 90% of the track. If you cannot dance on just on the kick on bass, then the track is थोड़ा सा गड़बड़. This is what I made earlier, which is the beginning of the track right now. I haven't changed anything. I had never added anything in that. This is just like I've added a bass, which is a simple sub bass. I use this stock library thing of Ableton, and I just have tweaked things into it and named it Kratex sub. And this is in all of my tracks. Okay. I don't change, no single other preset.
Like a signature or?
No, it's just, I don't want to mess around the bass. Because bass jo hai, that is not audible. It has to be felt. So if I change it too much, it's going to create problems in the track. So I just want कि चलो bass इतना audible नहीं होने वाला है. Anyways, it's going to change by the notes I'm going to play on it. By maybe a processing, by a distortion कुछ तो add करके. But sub bass, that is it. And then I added a bass line, which I use Serum. I use Serum for most of my basses, not every bass. And there were some bass presets I was going through, and I also changed some things in it, and then it sounded like a very simple bass, but it was still audible. Like even in my laptop speakers, it's audible, which is like not the quality of the bass. It's slightly bit distorted. And then I accidentally, as I said, I played this, and the beat played over it. I was like, just that. I wasn't planning to do the other stuff, which is this. This is just the other part of the sample. I have just chopped it 1 year, 1 year and 1 year. That's it. So yeah, that was it. I used this, and if I just turn off the drums and just the sound, and there was no kick at all over here. So I was like, if first kick aa raha hai, and then the whole kick thing goes away, then how will it sound? So that thing, the melody thing starts on the house beat. If I just remove it, it sounds like a really decent house track. I never planned that nothing would be over here. I assumed that Shreyas would write something over here. So that's why I left space for him. Ki matlab you write something here and then we'll take away from the drop. But he decided to drop it from here.
तांबडी चामडी ही चमकते उन्हात ना लका 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 लका.
That's why I liked it first, because when I made this and sent to Shreyas and I was hearing nothing over here. I thought that he might have added a rap ahead of, maybe because he thought that someone else is going to write. And I think that was his thing, because he thought that someone else would write over here. So I was like, let's keep it blank. Let's not add things over here. Let's keep it house music. This is how house music sounds like. And then Taambdi Chaamdi. The iconic thing. Vocals mein, I haven't done any processing because those came processed from Shreyas' side, and Shreyas did with his producer Vedang, and they worked on the whole processing and like smaller nuances of it. And the vocal is pretty much raw. This is how Shreyas sounds like. There's no processing. There's not too much reverb. There's nothing too much in it. And Shreyas' voice is very like gritty. It's like
it has that raw.
Yeah, rawness in it, and its personality also like reflects well. And rest of the vocals is.
लक खादीचा पांढरा शर्ट खाकी पॅन्ट टाकून मी टाकाटक चेहऱ्यावर तेजपणे चकाचक आवाजात वजननी बोलण्यात नसाकत म्हणून तर ऐकणारे नाव घेतात हक्काने.
Vocals, if you realize that they are sung a bit faster because it's a house thing, and this was completely new thing for Shreyas and me. This is a snare I've used in place of clap. I don't know, I still didn't rename it as snare. I just kept it as clap. But I use this one clap every time. This is a 808 clap, and this is a very iconic sound from the 808 sampling machine that was used initially in the birth of house music before, like when house music was initially made. 808 and 909, these two machines were made, and 808 was predominantly used for making the hits of house music. And this tip was given to me by Black V-Neck. They are a very big producers from Miami. I made a track with them called Time Waster. It was released on Repopulate Mars, very big house label. So they told me that use this clap every time and it works. Okay. They didn't explain me anything. It just works every time. The rest of the things, there's this hat. Again, the same thing goes to the hat. I use a 909 hat or anything sounding similar to 909, which is again the classic 909 machine. So, but in this case, yeah, this is one sounding like 909. This had two hats layered. And one thing which I do is these drums are never actually on point. They are 3 milliseconds behind. This is a very important tip given to me by a session I saw in my lockdown, which was a production session. Because if you layer all your drums on point, this is a digital machine. It's not going to sound, and if you just lightly move it behind or upward, which is very like -3 milliseconds or +3 milliseconds, it's going to make it more audible just because of that 0.1 millisecond difference. So I do that for my claps, I do that for my hats which are coming on point. And then some hats I use like which has a very different swing. Yeah, it has a different swing to it, like hats like up octave, down octave up. And yeah, that's about it. There's nothing more in the, there's no build-ups, there's no fancy tricks into this. But one thing which I do mostly in all my productions, as you see, I have made buses of everything. So if I just fold everything down, it just sums down to few elements, because I know that a normal listener is only going to listen to these things. So yeah, so I'm going to work on it. Once I'm done with the track, I'm going to work on the buses of it. That's it. I'm not going to go inside and then change until unless it's creatively needed. I'll do that. So every bus has this that rack which I have made. So kuch bhi, if I for example this sound I want to change. So if I open it, yeah. So these are the 3 parameters which are being modified. So if this sounds over here, but now here it sounds very different. It gets a delay, then extra delay. It's the same sound. But yeah, if I do anything else and let's say I've run drastic differences over here, a delay and then volume. These are very smaller things. Usually in my tracks I mess around with these things a lot. But here in this track, I haven't done much. So I've realized that when a normal person listens to song, they can only digest 3 things out of it. One will be the vocal, one will be the drums, and one will be the melody. They don't know anything else. If I mono the track, which is like phone pe agar main suna raha hu, these things will be very clearly heard.
क्लब मध्ये क्रेटेक्स तर मराठी वाचणार
I think it's the simplicity of it. It's not complicated, even in the terms of lyrics. It's nothing. We are not talking about abstract things. Or we are not dissing anyone. There's no bad word in it. It's so simple. Taambdi Chaamdi chamakte laka laka. Laka laka doesn't need a language to understand, bro. That is a gibberish term. Laka 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 laka. And like we have videos from kids who's singing laka 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 and sending to us. They don't need to understand what language is that. Again, the simplicity of it and the houseness of it. So house ka wo cheez hai ki because it's at that particular 125, 128 BPM where we enjoy the most. Like a human when is at that, if that heartbeat is at that BPM, we'll enjoy the most. So that may be one of the reason. और नाचने आता है यार उसके ऊपर. So मैं सुन रहा हूँ and that's my first criteria for all my music, be it my remixes, original. अगर मैं खुद उठ के नहीं नाचने का मन नहीं कर रहा है ना मुझे, तो I don't feel the track is done. And also the creativity of my hot fans who are like making weird videos, which I can't even imagine why they have thought about this and all. So it's the whole you can say a network effect of fans, us, and the track, and it's like all the things come together at one place and it has made